you just say, oh, Gladion. I trouble, I yes, I die. On us, I don't know why you way, oh, my get out that you're going to try it forever. Why you pay your play? I be on your play. Put that yourself, put that young when you, and say, oh, by now. Do us a nene glass, say, oh, my dear. You should just say, oh, just say, oh, you just say, oh. Hey, my yourself, I'm like, you looking. I say, oh, Gladion. This is a special birthday song for that dog. Jawali Jonetta Wele. We say happy birthday to you. Enjoy your new age. The graduate daughter. Not forgetting Shannon Taylor. For chicken air. You want to remember her late daughter, Yolo Jira Wagner Taylor. Rest well. Not forgetting Brother Tony Wele Patu. Yasina So, in Taxi, Mother Teresa, Glenna So, in Rhode Island. And yeah, we are traveling. Edward, your birthday, Edward Luson, Capiada. I say, oh, Gladion. I say, oh, I say, oh, I do this, wow, Gladion. And the Orita So in Rhode Island. I said, my, and the Helena, Poa, Rhode Island. Uncle Tommy So in Liberia. But yeah, the late Uncle Stanley So. Yes, young. Says Angie in Rhode Island. Anita Zian, Minnesota. Apogetro, oh, Gladion. Jonetta, well, I did drop my or I see my cell. My person looking, my person looking. You just say, oh, Gladion. No, I bleed Daniela. Young one on the way. You say, get it. I'm behind your draw. When I go. Alfonso So, I go. Many times of Mr. Alfonso So in the US. I know Alfonso's young soul. They could be up waking. I try to say, what's your boy? Young, congratulations to that Jawali Jonathan Wele. It is your birthday, eh? My daddy, I just say, oh, God, you bet your money. If I'm running away, never. And when you are, not forgetting the cousins of the celebrant. Anita Zian in Minnesota. Direct Taru, Minnesota. Uncle Jerry So, Rhode Island.
Across the globe, thank you for joining us. I am Alfonso Zain Sot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners right here this evening, Tuesday evening, sitting in for the Liberal Progressive, the Samson Branto, conversation with Samson Toe, but I'm here to fill in that gap. We have to continue the conversations, whether we agree or disagree. It's all about our country and what we bring to the table. It's a lot of people screaming and yelling now and complaining and whining out of their own creation. I don't know why, but we are here this evening. We say good evening. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping here to acknowledge and welcome our folks here who always take time to share their evening, their afternoon, their busy schedule. It's not to see or it's not to watch or but to know what is going on in our country, and for which we take this very, very seriously. It's not for entertainment. You have the capacity to entertain yourself, turn your music on, play whatever song you want to play, but is to discuss and talk about issues, hear your side as a citizen of the country, whether you had the opportunity to make a refined, just decision without it being influenced by me or any other person in the past. And this is the kind of conversation we intend to keep here, make it fair, balanced, and proportional, regardless of your side, who you support. I am not the favorite with any of these political parties because they are all mess. They are all failures. They come and lie and lie and lie. They put their surrogates ahead and tell all of the lies and fill in the gap with all sort of stories without no end. And at the end of the day, they tend to kind of like scratch their hair and then asking question how we got to this point. Of course, you know how we got here. Don't pretend. Tell the people of what you did, your wrong judgment, your wrong decision. And this is why we who here having this conversation, I am not saying don't take us for serious, but question us. Question us. Don't just follow. I shouldn't tell you go and vote for this person. Even if I told you that, you have the ability, you might ask, why? Let me provide the tangibles. We never did that in the past, and I don't think we want to do that. And it's not of recent, but from time immemorial, over and over. Our decisions are made or either, oh, I know this person here. Since he says it, I will follow it. Oh, I know this lady here. I know this person here. So our decisions are based on assumption. As long Mr. A is with this N here, it's going to be bread and butter. Only to come to be a failed process. And this is why we're going to be standing in the gap and warn you way ahead of time. Don't be a follower. Not because mama and papa go there, you should go there. That syndrome, that mentality, that concept, we need to X it out. We need to erase it. We should find a permanent marker. Because talking about country, people come and say they want to lead, they want to be ahead. It involves a lot. And you must be able to have the opportunity to ask all of your upside down questions. But you allow the media industry, you allow single person comes and take control of your life, seize your civil liberty. You say, I got 15,000 followers. Anything that tells them, anything they are told, they will do it. Why should you treat yourself like that? Why should somebody take away your independence, your own judgment? They're not going to pour bread on, they're not going to pour food on your table. Don't even allow me to. I can have this sort of conversation, but you must also muster the courage to question what I'm saying. When you see them talking like they're putting soul in your throat, it's not for nothing. They are working for something or something inside them. And if they don't get it, then they go off, they turn off, then they flip. And that's why you see them, they are evolving like this. Go so, come so, go so, come so. Changing like chameleons. They don't even know which party to go to. Well, the analysts are here. We set it in for the Liberal Progressive. Just coming on air, I just got a phone call. He is so ridiculous to the extent that he has entered with it. This brother called me literally just leaving the Roberts International Airport to call to tell me that, oh, Joseph Boyka will be re-elected, whatever year. And I said, for what reason? So, oh, if you see the airport. Do you see that? Do you see how some of these hosts, these radio personalities, commentators, surrogate, do you see how they behave? So the airport is what going to send your child to school, right? You saw what we showed here yesterday. The conversation is about to start. Your civil liberties will be maintained on this network. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And as always, your voice, your input is always here. Benita, good evening. I was in your state. I call you. You never pick up your phone, but we made our power when I get off the show. Welcome to the show. NGO now, by the grace of God, will never get old. Let me bring in one of the independent voices of this network. But sometimes I question his independency because sometimes I don't know which way. Some day, yeah, he at his best. Some days, then the whole Kenyan town upside down. But that's who they are. If you learn so much, if they bug you, put it in your head, then sometimes we don't know where you stand. Sunday good, Sunday bad. Then you become Wisuruku. But anyway, we have to deal with it. Welcome to the show. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. This is the Liberia Public Radio, Lpr-Tv. Thank you for being here. John, good to have you here. Rescue number 3. Your patron called me this evening only to tell me Joseph Boyka will be re-elected 2020, whatever, 2029, because maybe they didn't check his bag. Maybe he one of the rescuers. So whatever suitcases, the 5 suitcases he carried, they allowed them to flow through. So he has come to the judgment that he's going to be elected. What a ridiculousness on the part of the liberal. Let me bring in Dr. John Malay, is the senior analyst, education analyst of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. I have to re-echo this. I'm sorry you were saying here, Dr. Malay. And I'm going to follow this here because it is your area of expertise. We hear 100 schools, 1,000 schools, or whatever school is going to be built, but the one that we have, the yet to be local. I'm also following the demolition exercises or whatever that is being going on. Where is the empathy? How are we get here? Would there be some sort of political hurt? In the long run, I have no idea, but we need to have this sort of conversation. What is the contingency plan? And let's quickly here before I bring you, as you know, we always like to profile or take a review on some of the news making headline. According to France 24 reporting this evening, a few minutes ago, Niger, who attacked Niamey Airport and what it revealed. It's been reported, according to France 24, France 24, heavy gunfire were here at the airport base 101 airport, where 4 soldiers wounded and 2 hours ago with heavy gunfighting. Wasim Nazar takes a close look at that. Is a reporter that is reporting what is happening that is in Niger. The same France 24 is reporting Sai Asman Gaddafi, a son of the former Libyan leader, Colonel Muammar Gaddafi, is reported there. According to family sources, cause of the death is yet to be revealed. Let's come back home here. We want to welcome our viewer. Just hit the share button and invite someone at your company. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. Entertainment is less on this network. We get a lot to do. We left out with MC Caro, Jay-Z, and how to call the other man, JD the Prophet, how to call him this, those artists. They're responsible for that. Ali, you're good to be here. Kesselin Hinen, I hope I'm calling your right name. Good evening, good afternoon, depending on your location. We are glad to have you here. Welcome. Oh my goodness, the Libra is send me your WhatsApp number. Tell Rescue to send your WhatsApp number. You got there. I call to check you. The only thing you want to know, I will send the number. Okay, I will send the number. And that's the number there, 781-363-5939. After 8 hours or 12 hours flight, you want to call to come tell us now why you're going to be re-elected. Dr. John Malay, good evening. Good to have you here.
Yes, sir. How are you today?
Good to have you here. Okay, so Liberal, let me put it here. Let's hear you. No bad boy for a child. Okay, so I'm gonna. You should know the number by now. I don't know why. Just give me 1 second. This guy, he's doing everything possible to distract me, and he think I'm gonna be distracted. Let me put it here. Let's see where you get to stare us here. 5939. Okay. Let me just 5939. You come from flying that long journey. You not find sleep to sleep. You want can't call here and can't tell or what. Good to have you, Dr. Malay. And how are you doing this Tuesday? I think that's not going to be quiet. They are the one who is leading the mass choir is away, so he's going to find it difficult. So even if he calls and he get a few minutes, he has no control at this point. We are in charge. Dr. Jones and so in charge. The Prophet Collins. What the other man need? The other field progressive from Pittsburgh, there, Dr. Toto. He went to the All Liberian Conference from there, blew to Liberia, come back with nothing. But all what he does, he stays out and just tweet and tweet. And let's see, the political nice Cotto, the political nice Cotto, and the Weashins claim to be independent cattle is somewhere. But Dr. Malik, good evening. Let's have a conversation here. I started here yesterday with it, and I got to re-echo it because I did some follow-up today with the school. That's your era here. I want to play this here and let's put it into perspective. Let's bring it into reality. Let's take it from the fantasy land, bring it into reality. People, what they want to do. How serious are these people when they are calling for quality education? And they want to blame kids. And you had the so-called or Never Die Church pastor Terry Collins coming here yesterday that the parents should be blamed because the children don't go to school. It's not a government fault. Let's watch this and then you have a conversation.
In Maryland County, poverty continues to shape the learning experience of many public school students. Across rural communities, children attend classes without proper uniforms, shoes, or basic learning materials, conditions that education officials say affect attendance and performance of the kids.
When she passed here, some of the students did not have uniform to wear. Okay. And some of them did not have footwear.
On Thursday, one public school teacher took a personal step to respond. Lucio Gofa, a classroom teacher at the Harper Demonstration School, donated some school supplies to students of the Boyabli Elementary School located outside Harper Main City. The items include a pair of black shoes, copybooks, pencils, socks, and sets of uniforms. As a classroom teacher, Lucia says she sees how these things affect children learning.
We have a little giveaway items at the Boy B public schools. Sometimes we visited the schools and we noticed that some students were not unified, and then when I interviewed the teachers and the principal, they said the parents they are not able to afford uniform. And then in that same light, the teachers too cannot ask the student out because of uniform. And we understand that they might feel a little bit excluded from the lesson. They might feel, different, not being unified because they are kids. And so in response to that, we decided to purchase a few set of uniform shoes, in order to make them to focus on learning because
Public school teachers in Liberia are among the lowest paid professionals, often struggling with delayed salaries and limited resources. Despite this, Lucio Gofa says the condition of the students pushed her to act.
It is like they should be learning. They are not to provide basic needs, and they don't need to have something that will distract them from learning. So that's how we got here this morning, and we are doing our little giveaway. It's just something that we doing as we resolve our own experience with the public school students. Yes, because I'm a son at public schools, and that's where most of the less privileged children go for education, who parents cannot afford. And knowing that it's a government school, those who don't have money send their children there. Every little way that we can, every little way that we can help, we will be doing that, and we have been doing it. And today we just thought it was to inform the CEO so that he can be in the know to know our little services that we are rendering.
Both Joe Wright, principal of Boyabli Elementary School, and Martin Baker, PTA representative, thank Lucio for the donation.
We want to extend our appreciation to her for intervention. We hope that whatever she bring, it won't be the end. Then we all work together to see how best to improve the school system.
Maryland County Education Officer Larry Nimlin was at the presentation ceremony. He said these words.
Security-wise, to do that intervention in terms of supplying school uniforms, few pieces, and shoes and other, school materials to support the efforts of the parents in ensuring that students are encouraged to come to school. It is one of the main exercises in which we are here this morning.
As education challenges persist in Maryland County, this act highlights the
This is the Liberia Public Radio. We bring it to you unedited. Find what a good reporting by that fellow. And by the way, Dr. Mali, just to keep you in the loop, we managed to reach out to the lady. She's a public school teacher, Lucia. And we had a chat today. She has agreed to appear on this network to give her a sense how she got to this point. And I got to realize today this is not her first time. But that's a public school there, Dr. Mali. You being that's your area. That's a public school there. How old is Liberia now?
Liberia is supposed to be 179 years old.
179.
Comes this July.
Mm-hmm. And that's a public school. Through her, I'm trying to get to the because I asked today, she said she doesn't know when that school was founded, but she was just a passerby, and came across that. But when you see that from the surface without us getting all of the details, when you see that as an educator, can anybody learn under that sort of atmosphere to easily succeed? Is it conducive? Why no actions has been taken?
That would depend on who you're talking to.
Oh, this guy. Let me hold you. This guy, he's trying to. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. So. Am I audible?
You are audible loud and well. What are you at the rescue headquarters in Liberia now?
No, they don't know me. I don't know them.
Oh, come on. I got a picture. I'm about to display this picture. I learned that there was a SS car that picked you up this evening from the Roberts International Airport.
Mr. So, I don't know these people. They don't know me. But I just want to say here very quickly before I take my nap here, because I'm kind of tired. If anybody tells you about coming back or anything, don't believe it. What I saw today when I entered Monroe, you know how skeptical I am with these people. But the airport, the entering airport, Monroe Airport now look like truly Miami Airport. When you get off the plane, you're no longer coming down the steps. You walk through the hallway from the plane straight on, and then you walk through the main building on the same platform.
You see escalator?
Then, excuse me. Hold on. We'll get there. And then you go through the line. They have 3 lines to check for health. The health department check you. After that, you go on the escalator, and the escalator take you down to the immigration office, where they inspect your proper documents. After that, then you go to the baggage claim area. Nobody bringing your baggage to you anymore. The machine turns the baggage around, and those that are unable for people to get it, they go around just like any other curacao that you will find in the United States. But Mr. So, President Baka has turned this whole area a little United States. When it comes to the airport, I'm so proud. I mean, I was giving money out to the security forces like nothing. because I'm so proud to see these people.
You were bribing people?
I'm bribing them I was just happy to get the money. No, Mr. So, you're not going to push me around. To say thank you that you guys have done a wonderful job. Because when I was here the last time, things are not like that. Now, when you go in, you come out of the airport, you don't even see your baggages until you go to the baggage claim area, where the machine takes the things around just like any other airport in the world. Oh, when it comes to the airport, anybody that talk about re-election or election, what have you, they got nothing over the father of the name. I'm so proud of President Baka here tonight. I just got in about 3 hours ago. But I thought that I called this show to let you know, I was going to call Terry and started yelling on the phone, telling Terry all the good news that I'm looking at. I haven't talked to anybody yet. Oh, Mr. So, I'm so proud. That this government, they're doing a wonderful thing. I haven't seen everything because it's dark. Maybe I'll see something tomorrow that I might not like, but
you couldn't go around to see everything. Why? You say it's dark?
Dark. It's dark.
What happened to the electricity?
The lights are running. The lights are there, but I'm not going to stop in the middle of the street trying to inspect. I will inspect tomorrow if I want to do so.
Well,
you
just told us it's dark.
No. I said there are lights all in the street. But it's at night time, and I'm not going to start my car, and therefore I will gradually do the inspection tomorrow. But when it comes to the airport, nobody has anything to complain about this president and his administration. I'm so proud. I just got in about 3 hours ago. I was clapping from the plane. I was clapping all the way to the immigration office, and then after that to clean my bag. They said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I'm so proud of you guys." I was yelling over my lung. I'm so proud of you guys. You guys have done then one guy, one of the chief came to me and said, "Look, this is what we want. We want people, when you come home, for you to be proud of us, because we're doing our best to make sure this country it is what it's supposed to be." Oh, Mr. So, unbelievable. In fact, this is what I'm going to do. One of the agents that I talked to, he told me to take his agent badge, passport with his picture, with his picture on it. He said, "Go ahead and display it." I said, "You're not going to get in trouble." He said, "No, let's display it and let people know that we're working." Oh, Mr. So, look, anybody that come on your show, on my show tonight, and try to criticize, they're on their own. I wish Rescue 2 would have been here to hear that. And I'm looking at Dr. Mali. He's uncomfortable right now. But yeah, the last time, did you hear him making any comment about it? No, because you guys want to hide what this government is doing. You don't want to publicize it. I'm looking at Dr. Mali playing with his glasses and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you guys are just, look, you got nothing on it tonight. Go ahead and carry on your show and talk about what you want to talk.
Yeah, hold on one second. I think Dr. Mali, you listen to this guy.
He got nothing to say.
He said now Liberian people should base their decision 2020 now or 2030, whatever time, on the airport, because he went through the airport. He was able to bribe people to go to get through without them looking at his luggages. That is a compromise to the state of the security. He allowed his luggages to go, so he was dividing money as usual, the Russian money, just to beat the system. Do you have anything to say to him?
Well, there's a saying that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder.
Maybe you can't see. You need double glasses. If you cannot see the beauty that I say, then you need double glasses, Dr. Mali.
Can you allow my co-host to speak, please?
You can't talk about beauty lies in my mouth. Then you mean I can see better than you? Dr. Mali, you need double glasses.
And that will also depend on the impression of who has landed at the airport.
Right, in this case. And we know who landed in this case.
Okay. If an opposition landed, that's a different story. If an angry pastor landed, that's a different story. If a praise team landed, that's a different story. So I agree with him from his perspective. I know exactly where he stands. But all in all, there's a need to give credit to the government for the little it is doing.
Right.
Little, oh, ridiculous, Dr. Matty. Little, this is a work of people, group of people who put together. It doesn't matter what I just narrated to you, what a blind man, opposition, imposition, angry pastor, or angry Dr. Mali. You come and you walk that hall that I walk in tonight with pictures, people advertising their businesses throughout the walkway. There's nothing going to change. I'm not making it up. Nothing's going to change. The only thing that is changing here is this government is doing good. And I was saying it publicly today. I said these are things the former government should have done. Well, how much does it take for those kinds of things to be brought to light? Nothing. Not a damn thing, not a much. So, but this government is thinking about the future of his people. And then you're going to come here and call it a little? Dr. Marley, don't come by. Well, I'm here in Maria. We don't want to see you again in Labra for a while. Stay there with you and Mr. So. You'll carry on your Tabata on a cover, whatever cover Tabata your guy, you're going to enjoy yourself. Let me go ahead and, but Mr. So on a very serious note, Dr. Mali on a very serious note. The last time I was here, that machine was broke. I'm so proud of the way the people did this. Sierra Leone has a similar situation, had a similar machine, and there it's working. And President Walker, for him and his people at the airport. Another thing that when you get to the place, you will see immediately. You know how when you get to the airport, you got 20 young men and women fighting over to get your luggages. So they don't do that anymore. They still fight, but the machine is the one that bringing your luggage from outside, bringing it in the baggage claim area. I've not seen that before in Liberia. So I just want you guys to be sincere a little bit. Not that you're not being. You are very sincere human being, both of you. I'm not questioning your sincerity. I lie. I'm questioning your sincerity. Well, I can't be afraid of your fault. So, but let me just say on a very serious note, Dr. Mari, I think anybody that comes to this airport as a Liberian, you'll be very proud. And that I am. I just want to express that. But thank you for having me tonight. It's a wonderful situation here. And please tell our brothers and sisters at LPR that I have arrived safely. God help. In God blessing. I'm here in Monrovia. I'm going to take care of business and we'll be back very shortly. Thank you very much.
All right. Hopefully we can hear all of the details, some of those pieces that were left out, whether it was done on purpose. The camera will still capture them. But Lebron, we are happy that you arrived home safely, and we will keep having this sort of conversation. Thank you so much for letting us know of your safe arrival.
Thank you. Good night.
To the caller, just call back 267 number 5679. So, Dr. Mali, yeah, carry on.
Yes, well, what the journalist report you just flashed, I think we need to retrospect a little bit. But before then, I first of all want to thank this lady. She has children, and she decided to, take this thing even from her children to bring it to other people's children. And I think what struck up to me is that we need to put in place teacher appreciation programs. I think this is one thing that is conspicuously missing in Liberia, where teachers are not appreciated for the little they do, apart from the salary, to create that competition and heighten that spirit of teaching our children. But let's get back to the story. There's a layer to this story. First of all, let's go back a little bit. The liberal educational system initially was established in the 1820s by the American settlers. And listen to this, for their children.
Not ours.
No. For their children. And this is a source for their children. All right? And this educational system was characterized by exclusion. So you will notice that from our own assessment, according to sources, from 1820 to 1944, the liberal educational system were in dark days.
So
because
hold on. But quickly here, I just want us, our audience, to just flow in. You say it was established for a sole purpose of exclusion at the disadvantage of who?
No, I said, let me repeat myself, because I know a lot of people are going to come after me. According to sources, the liberal educational system initially was established in the 1820s by American settlers for their children. Okay? Historically, it was characterized by exclusion. That is the key word. Yes, it was characterized by exclusion. Because if it were established for their children, obviously, what happened to the rest of the other children?
Right.
Who were not connected to settlers' dream and other things? What happened to them? Then, yeah, it's the issue. Between 1820 and 1944, that 124 year, right? This guy, Todman, he took over 1944 up to 1971, 27 years. Education started breeding at that time. And there's this saying all over the place that between that time and up to the time he died, our educational system was up and running. Yes. You know why it was up and running? It was not up and running by Liberians. It was up and running by expatriates. When Todman passed the open door policy, group of educators from Ghana, from Sierra Leone, from the Gambia, from Nigeria, they came in and buttressed the system. And this is how we had top up-running educational system in Liberia between that period. It was never run by Liberians. And the evidence here is that when the war came, all the guys left. So at that period, we should have done something. We should have trained our people, sent them out, but that was not Todman's priority.
Okay, let me hold you there. Our man, Terry Collins, senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio from Minneapolis, Minnesota. The perfected guy is here. Terry, welcome. I think your rescue number one or whoever from Monrovia said he been calling and all of that tonight. He was here. He not us on Tabataya again tonight. But I guess maybe he has sent you a message and that's why you're smiling. Good evening. Good to have you.
Good evening, Mr. So, and to you, Dr. Mali. Good evening.
Yeah. How are you, man of God?
Yeah. Okay. So,
you notice one thing? Excuse me. You notice that the Honorable Reverend is not growing the political beer. Yeah, you guys are taking note of this thing?
No. I'm not growing.
Let me progress. I'll see you.
Yeah, quickly. We're just picking up, and yesterday we were in this conversation. I did a follow-up through with this lady today. Now I was told that it's a public school. I was even asking, but there are some information she doesn't have. I want to also get to the school. And the reason that now we're going to use this as a case study, and there are many, this is not a unique one, there are many other places here because we seems to be distracted. And like you rightfully said, that just the start of, we're going to be looking at other viable institutions, establishment that should be more functioning, and how less interest government people are paying to that here. So quickly before I go to Terry here, Dr. Mali, from Todman time, the number of years it have taken, and it seems to me lesson is not being learned. We do not have contingency plan. There's no fallback plan to anything that we're doing to bring people, and we just think that they're going to do it. And so when they leave, then we are vulnerable. It's like you took a chick in the forest and put it in the town, and it lost. It doesn't know which direction because it used to the forest, and now you brought it in the city. So it's like it's missing. So this seems to be a system that is sort of consistent, that we do not have a contingency plan. We do not have a backup plan. Okay, we go one way, and when our way is locked, that's it.
Yeah, but here is the point. What I'm driving at here is this. The educational system that was crafted, that included the University of Liberia, okay? I think it was crafted for Morovia. Because most of the argument, if you see most of the schools in the urban area, especially Morovia, is much better than the other schools in the other Leeward counties. That is from 1944 to 1971. So from 1944 to 1971, Torba was in charge. All right? So he was there for 9 years. I think there were now things started moving, things started flourishing, and we beat our chest and say, oh, our educational system, by that time, it was very good. Yes, it was very good, because you have foreigner in the private sector, private schools, foreigner in our at the university. So even at the Doctoratic College, the foreigner were there, boosting this thing up. It were not Liberians. All right. So what I'm driving at here is that, were there any plan to include rural educational development? There where I'm coming from. So now His Excellency is trying his best now, trying to open up things. All the other administration have been trying. Upon did try. All right. Former President Upon did try. Helen did try. And he also tried. They're trying to open it on at this time. But the question now is, what happened to the rural education? Like what I just saw from this lady. Don't forget, there are other people down there who also establishing their own private school. But this is a public school, right? Do we have policy to govern public schools in the rural area? We know about the urban area already, but the rural area, do we have those policy put in place? Like for the classroom I saw down there, it's very pathetic, all right? Then you have the guy standing up, jumping up and down, called himself educational officer. That whole bash, we need to even reform our whole side. Do we really need them? Do we really need our group? Because these are the people that just sucking the lifeblood of that country for nothing. It was very shame on her part for that woman to go to that place there. Then he there thanking the woman. Why they're not highlighting this thing in the various Leeward counties? Why? Because
let me hold you.
No. They limit themselves just to the city. They don't go in the towns and villages.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay, let's engage the conversation as saw Terry.
And there's something I wanted to say about the journalists again that the men of God brought. And we got to talk about that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I told you, you have gone 360 degrees, so I gotta be very careful now. This is how Terry started yesterday with the journalist. Now you are giving a red flag, so I'm waiting to see what will come out. Look, Terry, Dr. Mark said he should be ashamed, or he shouldn't even be existing. I don't understand where he's coming from. Why he wants to blame? I don't know who we're going to replace them with, when there had not been any specific contingency plan as to how these things here. But this is the guy who was just giving back and maybe making an ultimate sacrifice, whether he on salary or not, we don't even know. But yeah, what we having now. You hear what he's saying?
Well, Dr. Mali is giving his opinion, and I don't want to sabotage his opinion before I be taken to Bella Yala and treated, with the Bella Yala with capital punishment. But here's the thing, Mr. So, if Dr. Mali will have better understanding on this whole thing, because that's not my area. So he and Sese will be better informed to inform us on the matter. But from my layman opinion here, I want to know whether if this particular institution is under the government. That's what I want to know first. When that fact is established, then the conversation can be had. Because as it stands, we still don't have detailed information regarding the school in question. But here is the thing here that
well, just quickly to put it to rest, I did ask her that question today, whether it was a public school, government school. She said yes, and I wanted to go further when it was established. That information, she doesn't have it, but she was going to gallery. I wanted to know how many teachers, how many students, and all of that. But again, she is not teaching in our school, but I think a good Samaritan who was just passing by and saw the name. But from what I see, some of the pictures she sent me, I think that's something she's been doing around that area, just kind of poor.
Yeah, so I also want to know how far is the distance of the school from a nearby city, village, or town, as regarding like how far is it in the forest, how far is it in the bush? Because I was also contemplating on it, like I traveled to Walapolu, right? Walapolu is all the way in the forest on the highway going to Sanoye after Turuta, Bon County. So when you go back there are some villages, you don't have much people there in the village. Most of the horses are mud bricks horses, pan touches, and all that kind of stuff. So you don't have any decent structure in those places. So given the setting that particular school is located, will also be some of the reasons why it looked the way it looked. But that still does not negate the fact that kind of condition is not a learning condition. But again, in the forest, in the bush, this is the condition of the people who live there. So we got to take into consideration the livelihood of the people who live in those various villages. Because take, for example, there are villages that you can walk from a big town. You're walking in the bush for 3-4 hours before you hit a village. And when you go in that village, there is no decent house in that particular village. Most of the people there live and sleep on the floor. They sleep on bamboo sticks and things like that.
So Terry, yeah, these are very good puzzles you're pulling. Would the narrative change if we were to host or here or even get a school authority in there and we got to be informed that this is a government public school. In fact, teachers are on salary and a senior. Clarence is starting to be very ridiculous here again. You see, this is why Clarence. I mean, this is.
I'm already ready.
She might be seeking a political seat in the future. You see, this is the kind of behavior. This is the kind of people that these are the rescue uncles and nephews, brothers that we have here. So you see, now I don't know, but go ahead. Would that change the narrative if we get all of the facts, all of the information that yes, this school here, in fact, is one of the schools under the Ministry of Education, under the school systems of Maryland, and all of that? Would that change the narrative?
I hope it will do, Mr. So, because this is a big platform. You got a following of over 100,000 something. And I don't think the government will want to play Yankan with this kind of information coming forth. And this is wherein we have advocates in the country that are not really advocates. They only advocate for politics. People want to get power. People want political office. Then they are advocating. Where are the advocates that can be on Facebook and all those places that are willing to advocate for schools like these in Liberia? Where are they? You understand? Where are the advocates that are advocating for the health sector in Liberia? Why? Where are they? Those civil society.
Pay attention to these advocates. I don't know whether they are advocates. These people are pushing their own agenda. They are making future investment into something that they know going to be a rep and they're going to be benefited. So we really do not. I don't see the radio hosts and all of these people who proclaim and profess that they are talking for you.
Right.
That's what I said. Nobody talk for me. My mouth is so wide. I can talk for myself because these people, they are all crooks. They come, they talk it one day today. If they don't see their way, then they turn it and they restructure the case and talk the way other. They are not prepared. They are unable to make an ultimate sacrifice. They have no vision. They just talk because they want to talk. So they are entertainer. But it's sad that people flow in their direction as well. So I don't see.
Mr. So this is the serious problem we have in our country. And it's not a joke. It's very, very serious. Because when you see the condition of kids living and learning, and you compare us in America here as to how our kids are learning, the only thing that can happen to you is a heartbreak. Because you and I could have been in that same category, but God bless her to be here. But take, for example, like I said, this is the good place where advocates now can begin to make their name, can begin to make an opportunity for them to be seen, can become recognizable in the society. There's also, I was thinking also about how do pregnant women get from place A to place B, in those villages way in the bush at 3-4 hour distance. Who is advocating for them? Who bringing them to the lamplight? Huh?
I say Solomon said that God no more, that God taking them to.
Seriously.
But CEO.
Who highlighting, who advocating for them, who's speaking for them? Where are civil society organizations? Do they go to these places? Do they do survey on these things? So with all these things given into consideration, this is where we are.
What we get out of it?
It's possible.
How?
If we continue speaking about it, if we continue to highlight it, if we continue to bring it to the lamb's light. Because most of the places, like what Dr. Mali said, who the government really got to go to the places, when they get in the money, they will sit down and eat the money. Then they come, they just make some kind of report and say, 2 to 3 schools in so and so area, we already took care of them. But do the minister really do a overall, review, like at the end of the year-end review? What are we going to do? What are all the schools in Liberia? How do we tackle the challenges? Which one is like this? Is there a year-end review? Is there an audit, inside audit of all those people, those workers and employees under you? Do you do an inner audit?
The executive marshal, is it being audited? The legislature is being audited, and you talk.
Different play you going on.
No, that's a different play. We have to start with aim.
I show they being audited.
And Terry, the people that and this is why you guys don't like to hear, because I'm going there now. You're going to be very uncomfortable. The people who's supposed to initiate the audit, before you audit people, you got to lead the way. You got to set the example. We're just talking about it. We have representative. Why should we even have senator in Mosarado County? I don't understand. Some of these people, they are still arguing more. They are still trying to enrich themselves. They still try to make more seats for political purposes. And we're talking about just only just one school. If we were to really go much deeper, and not just only in the rural side, even places outside of Monrovia suburb and other places, there are thousands of schools. And these people that are senators, they are representatives, we pay them money. They say the girls are a constituency break. They don't go they don't go anywhere. Some of them right outside Monrovia, you give them gas when they do not even need it. So I think it's time for us to be critical in the sense that if I don't need it, I shouldn't get it. You're in Mosarado. Why should they provide you transportation? Where are you going? Who are you meeting? You're not meeting anybody. So someone that is in Grandview, someone that is in Maryland, someone that is in Nimba or Sino River G, there's a cost leaving from that place to go. In fact, these people if you check, they're not even 2% of them. They don't even get one place there as an office where their constituency people can to even call. So then what is the point? This is why we say we do not like big size government. The spending in government is just too much. There should be some really cost.
To add to that, right? Why do you need a $45,000 car to drive around Monrovia? Huh? Who just to drive around Monrovia for 3 years? That why you need $45,000 car that's supposed to be able to go to those places? Like the person you're talking about, that school, who district that school falls in?
I'm
You
gonna find.
know, all those things gotta be asked. Which district? Who is the representative in that particular district? You know, and all of that. What are they advocating for? Maggie in the House of Senate is the guy that responsible for schooling and things. Does he have information on all these things to be able to challenge? What is he doing in regards to that? Also in the House of Representatives, where is it? Where who holds the educational stuff?
Can you lower Moses? I think your monitor is on. You want to lower it, please?
Does he have information on all these things to be able to challenge? What is he doing in regards?
CEO,
Yeah.
I think we're jumping the gun a little bit here. Everything we do in a responsible government is supposed to be guided by laws and policy. For instance, you have the MCSS, the Monrovia Consolidated School System.
Right.
We do not have the Liberia Consolidated School System. So that system is only limited to Montserrat County, right? Do we have the Grand Judea Consolidated School System? Do we have the Riverside Consolidated School System? Do we have the Mike Gibby Consolidated School System? So the question now is, what are the laws? The last time the educational minister went parading the various Leeward counties, her limit were in the capital city. But my question here now, what is the law governing rural education? What is that law? What is that policy? You see, everything the men of God say here, those are very good things. But where are the laws? Are there laws? All right. Do we have policy that state that the educational officer supposed to go and find out how many schools in each town and villages? Do we have that kind of thing established? All right. Let's assume that, not play the devil advocate's role. Let's assume the laws are there. They're supposed to go find out how many villages having school, the mud school, how many villages, this and that, and all the kind of thing, and they're not doing it. These are the people who are supposed to be candidate for the Better Yala Pressing Center. These very particular populations. If we have those laws, those people are supposed to be thrown in jail. All right. But no, I say if those laws are there and they get in a capital city turning around, these people, you keep them for more than 360 days before you even start looking into their cases, because these are the people that are suffering our children in our country. But if for any reason the laws are not there, then the question now we need to find out what happened, because rural education is not the same as urban education. And what I'm beginning to think now is like, what happened in Monrovia there is just for Monrovia. What happened in Maigibi is just for Maigibi. So do we have this centralized, decentralized policy that will incorporate these children in the town and villages? In the first place, we got to take statistics. The educational ministry, do they have statistics about the town and villages that had the mud school and the people struggling to run it? We don't know.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We have not had. I know, but Moses, good to have you here, and that is very vital. We're not just going to rule out there, but just making the educated guess is just the same way. Before area can be a district, before you can be able to have a representative, there are policies, there are rules, there are guidelines that you might have certain that demographic, the population. Now, okay, what I do know with us as librarians from time to time, even when these laws are there, we have no respect for these laws. And so then they become no laws, and because they are not being, there's no follow through, nobody execute them. So anybody wakes up and do anything they wants to do, and they think that it's okay. But that's why it's Moses, good to have you. Good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Sewell. How you all doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm a little under the weather, but I couldn't resist but to come out and just make few points. I think that yesterday, hastily, I won't say for everybody else, hastily reacted based on the photo that we saw in the video. But I went back and looked at some other things, and I tried to reconsider the condition of Liberia post-war. Let not forget, and I think somebody said it earlier, let not forget that schools were now identified for the rural areas. In fact, 4 counties were not part of Liberia until 1964. 1964, before 4 counties became a part of Liberia. So that the government did not even consider those counties before 1964. And that's where our parents came from, my father, your father. Because when we talk about Nimba, Lofa, Bumka, they were not part of the systems of Liberia in 1960, but before 1964. So it took a while for them to do that. I think for the people living in those villages, and like Terry said, we don't know the condition, how far is it from a city or from a town, or, who's going there to inspect. At least the people in those areas have thought about having school. And someone rightfully said, we don't even know the conditions of where these people live in. So wherever they have built for themselves, they improvised to have something they identify as school. Now, don't forget, the Pro Society and the Grover Butch was designed as a way of school for those people back in the day. They were educated. Not the kind of education we get in here or we expect the population to have in Liberia, but they were going to school. When you went to the Grover Butch or you went to the Pro Society, you were in school. That's where they were teaching the children how to be civil, how to treat people right, how to do things, how to take care of the family. And those were the things that were being taught at these schools. So I think we hastily just taking this thing to a different level. We're not saying that government cannot put in laws like Dr. Male is saying, and we know we have them there. We have them, but it was concentrated in the urban area because that's where they have accomplished laws and all of those things. And you needed to go to this kind of school, theoretical school, to be able to communicate better with each other. But now let's fast forward to post-war. All of these places were under serious, no law and order, total anarchy. What do they call it, boy?
Okay.
Enemy. So my thing here is that we need to go slow. It's going to take a time to do that. And I think that the government does not have the kind of resources. They don't have the kind of resources to take on this tax. This tax is huge. Now, if we need to advocate for the allocation of resources for the education sector, then I think that's something I would want to advocate for moving forward. That they need to put enough money into educating the young people and creating the resources necessary for them to be educated in this 21st century.
Well, I don't know. They would never get that resources. Even the resources there is being diverted to use to something. But there are other things I want us to talk. I know we'll talk about I talked to her today. We're going to be having a conversation, if possible, get school authority and even get a side of the Ministry of Education. Hopefully they will show out because sometimes we'll reach out to them. And I think Terry mentioned something. I'll try to reach out to Senator Mange, but I want to get an in-depth first from the ground, and then maybe we can get to them. Is there anybody want to speak on this here before I switch to the next conversation?
Yeah, you just talk about, I think this is where some of our frustration is also coming from. You have some of our brothers and uncles sitting in the house there who are less interested in education. Now they have empowered them to be educational chairmen, chairing these things. Tell me now, how far you expect education to go? When you are appointing me, my priority is different from education. I don't even marry it. I don't even have time for it. You see, because we have a previous system where whether you educated or not, you stay on taxpayer money. Okay? So you get into the house, they make you chairman on education. When your first priority is where is the money, where education is going under such a circumstances. Okay? So I think it's doomed days in a place there, because Maggie is not going to do anything about education. That is not a priority. That's not a concern right now.
Are you running judgment on it? But I mean, that's
No. I'm running judgment on it because he came from a regime to get to where he is, and we know how they treated education. So I'm passing factual judgment on him. Yes.
Yeah, salient point, though.
I think partially that's something to really argue about. You have a valid point, because
salient point,
like that we see here, if you see people being put on committees, I'm not sure whether that is being done, and if that rule is followed to the letter. They put people on committees based on their expertise and what they bring to the table. I'm not sure whether that, when you see here the House, the representative, these committees, if you check, most of these people, their background in those specifications. And
let me just conclude on this. The security analyst brought something good here about the 1964 thing. So if Bond County, Lofa County, Nima County, and Grand Jida County, these are heavily populated county, we're not part of this whole country nomenclature until 1964. You know how many elected people were developed within that time in the huge county like Lofa, Bom, Nima, and Grand Jida? That means there were no focus for them, no plan for them up to 1964.
But they were not part of the republic.
No. You talk about the Polar Society.
You're right.
I don't think that the Polar Society education cannot equip you to challenge people from the West. We're not talking about that.
I want us to digress here, even though that's history here. But let's look from 1964 even up to how many years are we talking about now?
No. Not from 1964 up to now. Up to 1960, before it got to 1964. You know how many people were kept illiterate in our period?
So should we?
But hear what it is, CEO.
But even the world was not
they were
that
not
advanced.
part of.
There's no room for us
the country, the republic. The republic was not responsible for anything to them. You see, so you got to understand that if they were not part of the Republic of Liberia at the time, they didn't have no jurisdiction over them to decide on what was going to happen.
So then the question becomes: they were initiated when they became part. Now, what happened? And now,
no. That will also depend on what policy Todman put in place, because he was there for 27 years, and the 1964 was part of his operation up to the time 1971 he got out of the page. So what did he do?
Well, the only thing that I know, he was tying a kente on the left side, smoking cigar, and people were taking them. When Phillips offered one year, and other people, they were doing everything possible.
Not necessarily, folks. That's
a country. He said that I don't know what. I think it was a closed door policy.
I strongly believe that he did something.
It was not an open door policy.
What's the open door policy? What's the benefit? That's
listen. Let me just say this. Let me say this. When these countries became, these counties were classified, that's why the unification movement was built in Lofa County, because it brought the influx of people, and it says that if we all want, we need to build a unification movement, monument, and that was built. But yet stay, some of the people who were chosen as representative of these counties into Monrovia didn't know how to speak a word of English.
All right.
They couldn't communicate with these people.
Let's shift the conversation here, because
so there's a deep history of the.
But then why you guys here want
we cannot?
Why you guys here want that power?
1 minute, Reverend. We cannot sit here and just say it was supposed to happen. Was supposed to happen. There were steps taken towards that direction, and we know that Todman did his part, and Torber came, and that's when some of us really had the opportunity to see first light of what the importance of education was.
First life.
Our
when?
fathers were not.
When?
Terry,
No,
go
for us, I'm not talking about our parents.
No,
Our parents had to travel all the way. My father left indigenous Lofa to go to Banga before you could step in school or go to Firestone.
Wow, no school in Lofa?
No.
What
He was on the farm.
But you can, Mr. So, when you go to Lofa, when you actually
academia. It was not academia.
What Mr. Segbe is saying is true, because when you even go to Lofa up to now, the people, you can see that the people still struggle to speak English. Nobody knows that. So there is a slow pace of...
Across the 16 countries. Now
oh my goodness.
I'm just talking about Lofa where I went. I know it go across, but I'm just saying, so there's a possibility that we still got a lot to do, and we know that we got a lot to do.
And even worse, from where former President Opon came from, Alain, even worse.
No, but I don't want to go.
Okay, guys, I think we are already after 9 because 10 o'clock will be. Oh, yeah, there's other things here I want us to talk about. Which, of course, is this demolition, the breaking down to places. Yes, I do understand. We want to modernize our country, but it's been like the era of Satan. I've been trying to reach out to folks. The guy who came, I don't have all of the details yet, who said he's the owner of this place and a lot of things happening. Representative Cooper, I tried to reach out to. You see, that's the only thing with our people there, because even when you try to give them something, when you try to have a dialogue, let me see here. Our guy, there was a conversation. Okay, our LPR, our own Tana James Cabal, congressional correspondent or legislative reporter, was in a brief interview with other schools of journalists with this year. But before then, let's have some of these stuff here, and then we can talk about it.
You see me? I sick back. If you see me, I sick. And that's where I sick. And me much when I was the other one that you get somebody. And I really want to so much. How you expecting me for me to so I sick. Nobody to talk for her. Even our representative Princeton, he couldn't say anything he was there. When I talk about the power, even though we have differences, but I can't go stay for the people. What they call representative. When you tell the cutting your people, you say we can't say anything. The law is the law. Then when you representing now, the people we supposed to be talking for, you standing on and making them homeless. Then you telling the people say the law is the law.
And it's not met. According to you, you need justice. With all of these things that you have said here, if your demand is not met, what would be your next score of action?
We need justice. And this is why one of the representatives, it was a bone of contention to watch what happens in the House this morning. And we'll try to get to Representative Cooper, but up to this time, she has not returned our call. And let's see her side of the story.
If it is for private citizens and government, we want to exercise eminent domain. I'm saying we because I'm a part of government. We want to exercise eminent domain. There are steps to follow, to exercise, so that we take those places. If the places are not for them, there are also steps to follow. Even if someone is on your land illegally, they restore some dignity. Don't just jack them off and remove them from the barrier. Today is the last day, and so I brought this letter on the floor so that we will call those people involved, from the security apparatus. I understand this is a sensitive issue. And so I wasn't requesting that they come in plenary for open plenary. Call them. We run all committees in this house. Call them in committee room. Let's understand the plight of our people is very essential. And to get this missing, and I'm so disappointed. I'm very disappointed. And I just spoke with the speaker. He's going to correct whatever mistake he made and make sure the dignity, of our people is restored.
Did he give you any reason how he intend to correct?
It's a sensitive matter, I understand, but it shouldn't have gone the way it went. Give us the opportunity to speak, especially when you represent people. People carry different narratives. If they don't, I've been having a couple of meetings, and because I'm not going to the press or not saying anything, so they say like, oh, she doesn't care for us. When it comes here, we represent these people. the plight need to be spoken on, and that's what we're trying to do. But I hope we correct the situation and make sure, some dignity is restored. Thank you.
That's Representative Cooper here. So there is becoming bone of contention, more or less political, and everybody going to be grabbing the piece and parcels of this whole thing, the manner in which the context of what she was saying, how it's being conducted here. The other people will be asking now, where is the empathy? How is this thing going? What is the contingency plan? There been enough conversation, but there's some sort of compensation that these people to be relocated, whatever it is, whether they violated, whether they were in violation, how long have they been there? It is a sort of convoluted one with so much of baggages and things here. But this is more or less is serious now here. Dr. Mali.
Yeah.
Is there some sort of long-term political implication in terms of how this thing going and how voters going to react? Absolutely. Because other people feel. You heard a representative. Some of them, they are getting because things are not being addressed. Sometimes they see people show up. Some of them, you will say that government did what it should do. I mean, it's sort of an unbalanced situation. But do they have plans for those places that they are even demolishing now? Is there something going to go there immediately? Or we're going to just see it go down, put it down, and we'll see here, yes, we want infrastructure development, but have they addressed some of those that need to be addressed and then to be going as wild, like a wild geese now?
Well, the answer is yes and no, because the lady who just came up, she used the term eminent domain. That means government power to seize private property for public use.
Yeah, but she said if it is, you remember, but they have not had a conversation. She also said if it is eminent domain, but they are also steps.
But then here is the issue. The issue here now is a tripartite issue right now. I'm not too sure because in the legal system, people are served notices. I think 1 or 2 or whatsoever. All right. Notice of eviction. I showed this happening. It has happened to me myself, right? But again, if for any reason the notice came and people decide to be adamant to vacate these places, and there's a timeline given, and when the timeline is given and you refuse to move, the government can enforce the order. If that is the case, I don't think they have any case with government. But assuming that is not the case, then I will want to take you back to the 24 years since the war ended, from Charles Taylor to Helen Johnson, to where our judiciary had not been reformed, had not undergone any reform. It's been 24 years now, minus President Barker.
2 terms. 2 years.
It's been 24 years. The judiciary, when the war was over, they just took it and started running with it. Just how they took the police, everybody just started running with it. No reform, no nothing, besides the little training. But again, it is part of the culture of impunity for you to challenge government. If the case is true, move, and people refusing to move, it's all over in Liberia. Then now we come back to say, oh, we should have heart. We should be the empathy spirit should get in. When you're running a government, you got to close your eye and suppress the empathy spirit and enforce the law. There's the reason why when government come and say, oh, you need to leave, people don't take government serious in Liberia, assuming that was the case. But if that wasn't the case, then there's a need to review this thing here, where the lady said they came in with fake document, fake court order. I don't know where her facts are, and decide to move them. But one thing I'm sure of is that they have been told, maybe among them, that the people coming to take over this place here, unofficially, all the people will take over this place here. People been going there, people been discussing it, you see. But
If it is unofficial, just for discussion purposes, is that a way to go?
If it is unofficial?
If they're just having this sort of conversation and nothing we see coming from the court, and then one morning you just see bulldozer or some private owner of the place now do whatever they want to do, and you see people structure going down. Is that a problem in that interim?
Oh yes, that's an abuse of justice. Yes, that's a serious problem there. So then that means people are taking the law into their own hands and doing what they want to do. So that means you who found the oxygen for justice to breathe, you have the day. And to be very frank with you, Liberia is running in that direction now. If you don't have money, you don't get justice in Liberia. That's because the judiciary is corrupt.
Okay. Mr. Collins, if you don't have money, you don't have justice, should we pray? You say you always ask us to pray here.
Prayer is the alternative for all things.
Are you sure?
All. Yeah, all.
No, I disagree, man of God.
Oh, Dr. Mali, you the deacon. So if you say no, but Mr. So the people, I want to go Dr. Mali way a little bit. It is true that it's pathetic, it's hard to see people being evicted. But if you own somebody's land for several years, like 30 years, you were on the land. Allegedly, they say they've been there for 30 years. That is sufficient time for you to believe this case was in court for several months. They were aware. 30 years, you holding somebody's property hostage. The people can't evade you, then you get vexed. You say you will not get the people vote. Politically, it's not looking good politically because Liberian people, they can react to everything during the time of voting period. But by law, did the court do the right thing per law? These people, they are not victims. The people who are victims are the owners of the property. In Madame Sirleaf regime, the same thing happened. The Fender property, Fender campus, 2015 to 2016. There was a huge demolition that went on over there for the expansion of the university. All right? And because of that, there were over 3,000 homes were demolished and people displaced, thousands of people, properties worth over $16 million. They said a whole lot of things. Many of them said they were not compensated. They were not given further notice. But today, look at the structure that is to that place there. You see? So because, of vote, Liberia should not develop. So somebody should hold another person's property for over 30 years. And then we should be sympathetic with them because they don't have nowhere to go. Amen. I agree. It looked very sorrowful. But you had 30 years to prepare to move. They were over 20 years ago. So you have additional 20 years to make up the... Let me tell you, in Liberia right now, there are countless lands that people are just buying and building on it, even though they are aware that those properties not for them. I was a victim of that. You got to go to court. You got to drag them to court for like 4 or 5 years before you can get your own property. And there's a law that is very tricky, that once you buy a property and you build on it fast to roof level, nobody can take that property from you. That is the law that most Liberians take advantage of. But they don't know that there is also another law that says once the deed is older, the person has the original deed that is older than the deed you got, that property belongs to the person. So the owner of a property that I struggle for to buy, am the victim when you go and build a house on my property. Not you. You're not a victim. I am the victim. So in my opinion, it looked very sorrowful. We feel pathetic for the people, but you cannot blame the government for the action that the court took to give somebody else's back the property that is rightly owned by them? What if the man trying to build some kind of factory over there that will employ thousands of people? What if he's trying to change the face or the look of the capital city? So we should be held in hostage because of 2029 election?
No, because I know what I remember being a factory or building whatever thing. I mean, people have their property; they should be in possession of the property. We are just only saying if people just went through the process, and when before I go to Moses, what you were just talking about, there was a lady who one time sent a message and wanted us to do something, and then when I find out, it's just the same thing here. They went to this place here, especially where there's some sort of a confusion with family. The other one thinks that he or she get control, the other person get control, and one person think maybe the older and just step bounce and start doing things. They went and they invested, they built a place. Only after everything, just lately, apparently the rightful owner came. That happens in the Chicken Factory area. So the case went to court, and we can call them squatters now. They lose the case. So the option was the rightful owner.
Right.
Whether he agreed for them to buy that place, the man said no. You can't break the place down. So he ended up taking the place, and it just asked him to leave.
But Mr. So, can I just say it real quick before? What about the CDC headquarters? They were evicted. The Unity Party, they were evicted. So what are we really trying? And take, for example, all the people I saw over there, I want to see one person showing the deed to say, this is the deed that I bought. This is my deed. Because they know that they don't have no document. So the thing is, they're trying to plead on the sympathy of the politicians and the people in the country to come and start crying. Like to say, the people did not inform you prior. You don't know that you were going to court. And it is the law will tell you, when you buy or land, make sure when you're doing a survey, let it be announced on the radio. Let it be publicized so that everybody can know that you bought this land. When that is done, when you go to court, the person who coming to claim property does not have a case. So I don't know why other people trying to hold this, those politicians are trying to hold it one place. This is not going to help them. Because under Madam Shirley government, I can show you several instances where people were cleared out of properties that did not belong to them. And it was justified under the code of law. And you can't blame the executive for the action of the judiciary. You can't do that. Thank you.
Moses. Yes, sir. Let me just add a little bit to this, and I think Colin spoke well on this issue. Remember when they went and started to evict those people from Red Light Market and started throwing all their properties up, and we had that conversation? Eviction does not mean demolitions. When you're evicting someone, you're telling them to vacate the property. And the red word you used earlier, you talk about squatters. Now, let me give you my own scenario, my own opinion here. Many of these people that we see in the street there today, what we saw today, they're between the ages of maybe 18, those young guys, between 16 to 35. When the war started, their parents went there and probably squatted on the property, and that's the only place they know that they've lived on. That does not mean you own a place. It doesn't mean they own it because you were born there. And I heard people say, I was born here, and that's what the gentleman asked one of them, how old are you? He said, he didn't even know his age. Then the other guy said, I'm 35. So when the war started, and you're 35 now, when the war started, you were a little Peking. So who gave you the rights to say that your parents bought a property? Did they give you deed? Like Terry is saying? No, they did not give you a deed. And when we talk about and recently we saw that the land authority started to go with the MCC, with the mayor for the city of Monrovia. And they were looking at waterfront properties and trying to talk about cleaning it up and redevelopment process. And so when you talk about waterfront property, they're gonna the land authority is saying they're gonna look at deeds, look at the records to see if anyone owned those land first and foremost. And that's the appropriate step. They're taking the appropriate step. If anyone owns it, they will consult with that person. If no one owns it, it becomes a property of the state. So before they go there to do anything, they're doing their homework. Now, many of these people, I can tell you, I went to Monrovia, I was in Monrovia, there were houses that were marked in the alleyway, and there were houses marked by other people, and they're telling them, say, this is not your property, you got to move. I know someone personally, and we went to the property in Pinsville, and we asking the man, how did you acquire the property? He said, oh, that's my father's property. Where your father? Oh, my father now he went to the farm. Is that how you own property? You finish building on the people's property? So now, like Colin said, the victims is the person who actually own the property. They're coming in and they got to go through hoops to get the property. So this thing, I think the government, the judicial, it's only in the judicial hand. So when the marshals come in, they're not coming in and just going overnight and kicking people out. These people are aware of this process. They've been contacted.
Right.
They've been spoken to.
Yes.
For weeks and if not months, up to a year. Because when you saw the marking on there, this one, in the alleyway, this one here, we're going to demo because they didn't get to the point of demolishing those houses from the alleyway during the Ellen administration. We didn't have the chance. Didn't have the chance to demolish it. Now this government needs to demolish it, and they will say, "Oh, we've been living here at our property." It marked since 20 years ago. It been marked,
right?
And you're still living in the same place.
So this it just speaks to the value of the lack of enforcement.
Not only that, CEO, but education. Right. Education too. The people turn their blind eyes to being educated because these things were announced. Like Terry said, when someone buying the property, when they come in to see you, they put it in the newspaper for at least 4 weeks. They talked about it. It's not their responsibility that you're not educated to go read the newspaper or to see it. They're saying, they're making the announcement. This property is being sold in your community. If you own it, bring your deed. Because this person owns this property. If you got any deed to show for it, let's see it. And you have the right to go do that. But you ignore it, and then when they come and take the ownership, then you cry wolf.
That one
but CEO, I think here's another layer.
And there's a serious security implications in that too. I'm sorry.
There's some people, there's certain part of the population, you rise up under certain government that is lenient, that is cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's business as usual. Then when another government come now and try to enforce things, they say, hey,
you're not cool again.
Like for instance, if we take over in the future through democratic process and say we try and want to lay out Moravia, and people are going to rather cry. But we got to lay out Moravia. You got to get out. You got to get out of the way. You see, that other government, it was a government that had a spectacle where you laugh and dance. Those were not responsible government. A very responsible government, you would be smiling and make sure the people get out of the way.
Mr. Value, Dr. Value will join your government, yeah?
That's zero problem.
We government are wearing spectacles and what they're dancing.
No, but CEO, I got a property in Broadway. This guy, he live here. He went down there and just go pull an apartment on the alley. No way for me to go in my property anymore. So luckily, on one holiday, people all met there. The people were complaining. I said, "You leave it." So when we met there, I called a man for a drink. He came, we sat down, introduced myself. I said, "My man, they play you bid at the alley." He said, "Oh, my man, leave that in there." I said, "No, but I can't even get in my compound." The people called me, I told them the way. He said, oh, leave that in there, man. This is our country. We control the place here. I said, oh, really? So how do I get? He said, oh, Mr. Malik, you can find other women to get down. I said, all right. So I left it. So because he come from in the state, a lot of people are supposed to go to their property, but they can't go, and they're scared to talk. So they're talking to the town hall chairman. He bribed them. Town hall chairman came blasting at the people. Yo, you don't want to develop the player. Oh, God. I said, all right. So I went to the town hall chairman. He said, lead that team there. I said, oh, really? Said, right.
Lead that team?
Yeah. So what I did, that
was no punishment. They know who they play with.
Yeah, that time my man, may his soul rest in peace. My Butu was living. I went to him. I said, my man, this is issue. He said, oh, you sure? I said, yeah. So okay, let's do our homework. So I brought my D, the mother D, everything they made on the alley. I said, but that guy, he from the state, he want you economic power. He said, leave it. So when we left, I went to the Supreme Court to one of my papi there. I explained to him. Papi said, oh no, this is unacceptable. I'm going to get, I said, no, I don't want to go that way. Call off for a conference. So they said, so when they called for the conference, he said, oh, you brought me to the court now? He said, oh, okay, that the red place say you brought me now. That the red place you brought me now. And I'm telling you, going through story, Melago. So when there, the papi said, this is the map. Can you tell me the alley here? He said, oh, this is the alley, this is the alley. But you see the people in the country, they don't want to. He said, no, I'm not here for that one. Is this the alley? Yes. You be there? Yes. He said, oh, but I've been here almost 6 years now. There's a Somaliland, they've been sent out to the state there. He just developed a place recently. Now he can't talking about, I'm on fun way. He got to be going to a compound there. He said, is this an alley? He said, yes. Can you please move your horse from the alley?
Where you put it?
I can't do it. It's not possible.
All right.
Papi said, okay, the conference is over. You should know that what the Papi told him, he said, you should know that we had a conference and it's on record. He said, oh, yeah, I know. That's our country. We're all running this country here. And to be frank with you, that the problem are in that town there. So we left. So Mahmoudou came, we went there for another conference. The men were up and down running. So at the end of the day, I told Mahmoudou, so we work out the whole modality, say sue the man. So we sue the man, the Summer Public Work Ministry, Public Working and testify this on the alley. They said, okay. So the court gave Public Work the instruction that our alley should be clear in 24 hours. He said, okay. So then I told the court, I said, okay, you inform this man, this is what's going to happen. So they inform him. I took the letter to him. He said, oh, so Mr. Malik come from the state now, so that the fighting baby will come and show our share in the play now. We'll see who get the most money in this country now. I said, all right, oh man, I'm not here for that one. I get him the letter, he open it, read it, he tear it right in front of me. See that? So when the time came, it was Friday morning.
Trouble start.
Funny, if we went with the police, they took out all the children from in the house. You were there. Say, what you coming to do? First of all, he started insulting the police. Oh man, when you know our men and the rear train blew the guy here on the ground, pull hang on here. They chunking in the car like some cassava bear. They throw that building down.
Capital punishment.
Yeah.
It was going, go to bed.
All the men, they brought that building down. People were there crying, oh, this, that. He came back. They released him. He came back to see somebody. He came to me. He said, I'm going to even out with you. I said, no problem. I'm here anytime. I said, in fact, this is my address in the state. And the statement you made, I just recorded it. That's a threat. But I will take it out in the state. I will sue you there, and your ass going to go to jail. He said, oh, I'm sorry. It was a slip button. I said, don't slip button. You're trying to cry like so today now, both of us very friendly. You see? So what we're seeing that really true that what happening in our country that people take government for granted, they take the police for granted, they take everybody for granted. I'm sorry for that over there, but actually, like for instance, on Single 12th Street, that's another play again, another noise will come from one day. Because they're supposed to build a road right by Tottenham Harder. They're supposed to
go in the swamp. Yeah.
People say, "Oh man, we've been here for a year now. We were born here. Oh, they think we're not happy." And so a responsible government will come. Do you think we're happy?
It will.
But which government are you referring to? I mean, you didn't answer my question. Which was the spectacle government?
Oh my goodness.
No, I said responsible government.
No, but earlier you said there was some government who wears spectacles.
And the dancing with them, and the laughing with them.
No, some government put on spectacle to dance with the population and deceiving the people. And they know they will face out one day.
You know, CEO, this their issue, a plenty matter in our country. Let me put it there straightforward. And these people that came to town for safety net. And this is the security implication. Some of them left their villages and their town, feared the war, they came to town, and because they were total anarchy, no law and order, they weren't settled in. That does not give you right to it. You got property where you left, and they don't want to return. And the government have given some of them money. They have compensated them and said, go back. Go where you came from and do certain things. And it started in the Ellis administration. And these people refuse to go back. You know? And that's the narrative of what's going on. So for me, if those people come and the cry wolf, like you said, CEO, these legislators need to think thoroughly before they start to empathize with some of these individuals. They can't do it because they won't vote, because our vote is not going to be there when the time comes. Yeah. It's not going to be there.
Even CDC.
So it's wrong. It's wrong for you to even accommodate those kinds of conversations.
Yeah, I mean,
my
booty office. Even when they were building, when they were expanding the highway, people that were within the area. I mean, God did a little they can. Some of them were assisted, asked them for relocation. People took the money and they said, "Oh man, you know, LeBron man, everything. Oh, I'm out. Nothing going to happen." At the end of the day, 2-3 years down the road, they got caught up. Those who were farsighted, they knew at some point in time that rain going to fall. They took whatever they had and they went and resettled somewhere and built. But those who stayed there and think that nothing going to happen, at the end of the day, they end up being they paid the better full weight.
Yeah, so can I say this? There is you see Caldwell, Upper Caldwell, right? There are a certain group of people that are just selling the land to the Fula people. Yeah. And most of the land in that area belongs to people in America. And the people who own those lands, they don't know that the lands have been sold. Most of them, and some of them getting to know they're going back home.
Mm-hmm.
You see? These people just create deeds, working along with the land authority. They're just creating deeds for people, just giving people property. I live Upper Caldwell. I used to see it. Most of the houses that you see now in our era is owned by Fula people and other Liberians. They just building there with even a proper mother deed to demarcate the place and all of that. They just giving them property. When somebody come from America now to claim the property, when the government decide to break everything down, they will start crying again on Facebook, and people will kind of feel sorry for them.
No, but man of God, don't worry. Administration is coming. One day, where all the Fula aliens, they just all over that place there. They send their No, yeah, it's an issue. These people turning their shaft into investment. Okay, deprive us of a lot of things in our country. Time is coming. Those people will go home. They will definitely go home. So just leave it. Let them buy the property and improve it.
Yeah. Improve it? How are they going to improve it? Dr. Mali, you want to create your own ICE program in Liberia?
It's necessary. Do you know how many people are in our country there? Do you know?
No, I know. I saw it when I was there, 2013. I did.
If a time will come, show your paper. We got to reintroduce that thing. You don't have it, you going home.
You're taking the Trump philosophy over there. You just go on the street, wear your paper.
You don't let Dr. Mali anywhere needed the presidency. You do not allow Dr. Mali anywhere near the presidency.
I think Bella Yara needs to be rehabilitated and model to accommodate people. people.
Mr. So you following you following your co-host?
Oh no,
No,
some people. There are other people in the list. There are people
Wow.
You know how many foreigners living
public space.
in our villages?
Yeah.
Doing all kinds of things. You know how many of them break jail and they just running to that country as a free land? You know how many of them are criminals, hiding criminal armed robber, they just hiding in that place there because we're so lenient? Look, we need to weed it. We need to weed our system. I'm telling you.
Listen, Dr. Mali is onto something. We got over 4,000 walk-in borders between Ivory Coast, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. And it's not being monitored. We don't have the logistics or the capacity to monitor. Because when I was in Liberia in 2019, I can tell you, the guy that used to drive me with his taxi, lived in Guinea and came every Sunday night to Manoria, drove taxi, and went back on the Friday to take care of his family. That's the conversation I had with him. A recorded conversation, and I was gathering some information.
Dr. Mali.
So, he's right. He's right. And it's there. It's an open border.
So the government are coming, you are, instead of going to education ministry, you go to immigration or what?
No. I don't have to go to immigration. It's a question of just giving direct instruction to the immigration. That's all about it. You don't have to go. I don't have to go.
But you got to finish building better yaras. Three better yaras.
But to be frank with you, in my village now in Lofa, there one Nigerian guy sitting down there. He made himself like some kind of small emperor. He buying all the things. He get two of our late sister. Then he pregnant them, and people bring gold. He buy it, and they bring their gold. The guy is like even the chief. They all bow down to this guy.
That the man will be the Trump for Liberia.
We don't have control over the system.
I will go with you to that place.
All right.
The next time you go tell me, I'll go with you. We'll take you out of there.
When you see, I mean, we're taking that for a joke, but it's serious. We need to.
No, it is serious.
We got to order the system. Too many people in our system, they're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't know.
I know a case in
the security officer said our border are weak. Fine.
Yeah.
We'll leave a week, but we'll tell you that you got to come down and get your people. Time will come, instead of we going to the border, we'll carry on internal assessment from horse to horse. The whole community will target for 1 week to show your people you don't get it. The bus will be there. We'll just put you on board.
On the bus? They never had buses before. They used to tie their head.
There will be there will be no due process for you. You just got to go.
You get you president, you will be no different from Trump or even more than Trump.
Before the process takes place, right?
I know.
Due process?
Due process?
Yeah. So due process?
No due process.
In the first place, you already abused the due process by being there illegally. So what a due process coming from?
Oh my goodness.
Dr. Biden.
All right, guys. What a fascinating conversation. Yeah, I mean, that's what Gaddafi said. There is no successful revolution without a bloodshed. Nothing good comes so easily. Freedom comes with a price. It comes with a pain. You want change? Change is okay, but it's not just going to be like a cheesecake. No. Some of the edges going to be like a real sour. And I mean, that's it, because and that's why I say Todman, and I said Todman, and close the door. They're not opening anything. See how people who they hangs around with, Felix Ofobwani, go see how Abidjan look like. But he had Kente Town 11 side was smoking cigar. They were putting there, start moving it all around, because that's what happens when the foundation is not solid, when things just get spoiled from the, even someone who meant good to manage it, it becomes difficult. We see like a buku man, And so this, and you're quite correct. You want to be a leader, you can be as linear as it is because you want to get in. Let's see the other so-called rescue man, what he want to say. Good evening. Let's hear you, Clarence.
Attack now.
Hey, see how you doing?
Oh,
You can start good when you rather drop it. We're doing okay. Let's hear you.
You know, the issue that you've been discussing about the land issue is very, very, very serious because I listened to the Mika Pratt briefing today. Hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I listened to the Mika Pratt briefing today, and Sanders said there's an area when Ellen sold our culture center to Kennedy Hotel. They bought that area around my Gibi area there, 52 acres of land. And now the 52 acres of land, the government land are over there. People have built all over. When they went to resurvey that area, only 8 acres of land was available. Besides that, look at the lady that built out entertainment center and they get around the 72nd barrel, the military barrel. And the area she did, the military barrel, there is about 32 acres of land. And she went on the land and built it. Now they put barbed wire around her area. She's complaining that in fact the place she bought it from a legal person. And then don't look at Peace Island. Wait to defended. That Peace Island, that community that people living is a government land because that area was there for the Ministry of Defense.
Yep.
So with all of their complications, today or tomorrow, if the government come out to clean the area, they see like yes, that person not do that, that person not do that. But if we want for the country to really develop, and we mad because I want to maintain our power, their country will not go forward. I listened to Carl Gray. He said they issued their ruling key of 2020. In the favor they made that bought their property because the two families are fighting for that property. And when they went to court, after when they get a ruling and they decide to sell that property to the Nangbe man, and Nangbe bought the land from the two people that are in court for the property. So if we look at the military building that on that center is almost going to Central Monrovia. Before. Look at the kind of zero city people building. Look at the city.
Tell you.
So if the area are terrible for the sale, and then men are buying it, then men who buy the place are best men. And then they decide to develop the area because people live there. We should be that sympathetic and keep our country down. I don't think it's fair to the country. And today also, you are reporter, Lpr reporter with the Ministry of Public Works, around Plonko area there. What they were opening an alley, what the house said they were marking it. People seen the scene. And I'm a living witness. I had a land around Louisiana. We had an acres of land over there. There's a lady that came and built right on the alley. There's no other way that I can get to up it. And when you talk to her, she said when in the future, when the government come to move the building, she will move a building. Many people do that thing intentionally. And the last thing I want to say that the lady from the Maryland country that you talk about, I applaud that woman yesterday. But the fact that the matter and the woman want to turn to the teacher with our brother, don't know her source of income. Because many of these are coming.
No, hold on. No. You started being ridiculous here. The very first thing that came out of you, you said, "Oh, the woman here."
The man laughing.
You know what he said? Maybe she's seeking political office. I mean, come on.
No, Mr. So
it could be true, Mr. So.
Everything that I said there. When from the beginning you said that woman have been doing this thing to other schools. Yeah, we don't know how much is the money that she's making from the government. What are the sources of her income? Wow. That's the right question because at the end of the day, Democrat lady will tell by 2029, and we not get that woman name running that area for representative job. Don't believe me.
So then, even if she wants to be a representative, is that a crime? Is she not? Then and while labyrinth when you tell them you want to be, what have you done? So
no, if she want to be a representative. See, if she want to be a representative now, she want to be a get more. We applaud her for giving more. We applaud her for that.
Please,
but I'm not seeing that in the
on Saturday. Please be around.
I will be here. I will be here fully, and I'll be here. And one of the institutions that has really problem in our country, Mr. So, is the education system. I work in the rural area, many of these counties. And some of these teachers for the public schools, some of them are not favorite students. And they are serving as a principal for most of the public school in the interior. I'm a living witness today. Don't be fine. But the Ministry of Health is 100% better than even the Ministry of Education because they have most of the nation school in interior. And some of them just because the person can read and write in our community, go there and decide to open our school and become a volunteer teacher. I thank God that the civil servant or boss now, they are setting a criteria before the employee as a civil servant, you got to go for what the test. Because many of you are not high school graduate. They will having a deficiency in the education system in our country. So if we want for the right thing to be done, then the order the education system and getting a credential and getting all this should be done to know who is who to be in our very institution. Thank you for the show, CEO.
But Rescue 3, can I ask you a question before you go?
Yeah, Terry.
If you get the degree holder now, right? To go to go be civil servant, you able to get in $300 per month?
But you know, having a master degree holder making with education minister, I have one of my friends, you teaching Tommy the country Valley. You have master, you're paying $500.
You see, I sometimes
but the government can't pay everybody that amount.
When it comes on the salary of the health worker, I have more idea to pay. No nurse is getting in our country that making that working with the government that make below $200. Because when I was there, nurses were getting $230 for liberty. I left from our country in 2017.
That's not good.
The health system when it comes to 18.
270 LD?
No, they pay the $230 USD. Then they get the bottom money in liberty.
And what's the balance?
I think
the balance
BSc holder and master degree holder.
Liberty.
You see, the thing about Liberia.
Once you employ, they have incentive worker at that time. They have incentive worker. They have people that are on salary with the government.
Okay.
So there were two salaries the government used to gain the head setup for the incentive and the full-time employee.
Yeah. But you know, Collins, thank you for Rescue 3. And the thing about that is that as we look to rebuild our country.
Wrapping up now. So
I'm wrapping my thing up.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. We are about to. Yeah, Clarence, thank you so much. I think just before you go, I think that's one of the problems, and it's so disappointing. All our financial experts, the year to Cote d'Ivoire had an issue, Ghana and other countries with this two currency issue. I don't know why we can't put ours to rest. I don't know why that sort of study is not being done, because that is part of the problem that is making our economy sort of unbalanced, because you're not even paying everybody in the currency. You have the Liberian currency on the side. You have the U.S. currency on the side.
That was bringing the Fulani in our country there, or aliens in our country there.
Huh?
I said that
money laundering.
Most of the aliens who come in our country there. Because they're not there because they love Liberia or they love you.
Right.
I'm wondering, all of these meetings, financial meetings, these economic stuff meeting, I don't know whether they can talk about it, because there must be something must be done. You can't have the two to be just neck to neck. I mean, come on, other countries had those issues and they had a result. But guys, let's give our final statement and call it for the night. Tomorrow we're gonna be here. Priscilla to want to reach out to them, because that's the disappointment too, because most of these people, they don't like it. They don't want to get themselves on record. For some reason, even if they honor the invitation, at the end of the day, they cancel or whatever it is, but that cannot deter us to have this conversation. But that lady is willing to come over, we want to see, and then from there, like Terry, what you said, let's get all of the details, and then gradually, maybe to the Ministry of Education, and then go to because the House committees, there are subcommittees responsible. Whatever, a lot of committees in the House, they're responsible for something. Like Magay is in the Senate for education. They have somebody in the House. So we're going to take it that level to see where we are and how far we're going. Mr. Samuel, let's go, take the lead. What are we going with tonight?
Well, thank you very much. And, and there's a saying that goes, desperate time calls for desperate measures. It would take extraordinary people to do extraordinary things. And I just want to say what Rescue 3 was saying about people making the sacrifices. In rebuilding our country, it takes sacrifices. Sacrifices from the citizens, from the government, and everyone collectively to do that. And we need to look at the resources, the human resources that we have in the rebuilding effort. And I don't think that is being tapped into. When people start to ostracize other people and feel threatened because of your presence and think that your presence create threat for their jobs and what they enjoy, then it creates another problem. But we have a lot of resources that we can utilize that can really move our country forward. And we need to put, our own individual self aside and look for the greater good of our country and the greater good of all people to make those sacrifices that are necessary. You see, I will give a typical example. Recently, with the ICE thing, all the noise were being made until 2 persons were murdered. And at that time, there were people on the other side who sat quietly and never responded. But when those 2 deaths happened, why did it come to that? And that's what, and that's what I'm trying to say. It would take people to make sacrifices before things start to move forward. And there are a lot of people who are ready to do that. You can't pay the people the kind of money they earn, because if the man has master's, PhD, he's not getting paid enough for what he knows, what he brings to the table.
Boss, thank you so much.
We have to do something.
What's the Bible quotation we're going with?
Be your brother's keeper.
Also along the wall.
Exactly. Be your brother's keeper, Mr. Sigrid. Oh, hold on.
Hold on.
But my contention is, if Dr. Mali goes to the presidency, that means Trump has ascend to power. But yeah. So, Liberia is a very interesting place, is a very interesting country. I think to solve our problem is not hard. We just need, and many people think that Liberia problem is the president, or you need a leader. We have had good leaders, but why have Liberia not changed? So it tells you that Liberia problem is not a political leader. It's not a political movement. It's not a political structure. Liberia problem is for Liberians themselves to invest in Liberia and see Liberia as an opportunity for investment, a place where we can take our own economy into our hands and make the difference, as compared to what many people saying around all day, all over the place, that, oh yeah, we need a political structure. We have tried the political system. It never worked. We tried our political system for over 200 years. We stay dependent on the American aid to survive. When will we get out of that? Are you depending on CDC to come back, to go back and come back, step back and go into back, to come again, to change that trajectory? I would say no. Do you think Mr. Cummings can do that? I would say no. Musa Bedete can do that? No. Every one of these guys trying to come to power to feast on the wealth of the minority. Huh?
Can Boyka do that?
That's what I'm saying. We're seeing that he can't. Because the problem that they have been speaking about is not a problem that they can solve, because the budget and the political structure in our country cannot allow them to solve that problem. Because the budget runs through a system, through a procedure that keeps the process running. It's not money there that you will go take out of the budget and say, okay, I am going to take the responsibility to break down Wologisi Mountain and manufacture my own iron ore company and start shipping iron ore from the country as a Liberian president. You can't do that. That means you're running into a socialist state. But because of the democratic process we have to go through an capitalist system to invite other investors to come do this kind of stuff. So as a result, our system continues to stall until Liberians can see the country as a mean. Like, look at the guy they call Leo. You see the change one person can make. Leo, he went and built a library. Another person too build something on the other side. Another person will come and build something. Somebody will come. Liberians will come and say, you know what? We want Wologisi Mountain Instead of going for Indian man or somewhere, we can champion the cause and say, I want Wologizi Mountain. Why you think Liberians can say, okay, we will be the one to supply light bulbs instead of us importing light bulbs using Ego Electric? Why Liberians themselves cannot take on their own responsibility and build factories that will be responsible to import light bulbs into the country, and wherein the money will be used in Liberia instead of the money going out by SETI brothers, by those Indian boys. They come, they build their stuff, they take all our money and carry it out. Then the only thing we focus on is politics. We just chasing politics. Throughout, we chasing politics. At the end of the day, the main people who benefit from the country resources are foreigners, because we don't see Liberia as a place where Liberians themselves can drive their own economy. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Mali, here we have the pastor, the political pastors, but why he didn't tell us that GOL should be in a position to also provide subsidies. So the small businesses, we have some Liberian businesses.
I agree.
All people, they are undercutting the suffocating businesses. People that are even importing cars, people that are doing, they put in these sort of conditions that help to suffocate them and die premature death. You didn't say it. Your point is calculated, it's strategic, and that's what you guys do, because you hear counting other people who can do this, who can do that, but you are very selective. Dr. Mali, do we need to rehabilitate the Belayala Precinct compound? People that need to be rehabilitated, they need to go through some realist training. We need to contain them. We're not detaining them, but we just hold fire with them. The sun is too hot. Sit down here. We'll give you cold water you will drink. You know, when the sun cool down, then you come out and go do some exercise in the field.
Yeah, in addition to the rehabilitation of Belayala, there's a need to even erect additional precinct center in our country, about 2 or 3 more.
Mr. Mali.
From Sando, bringing them to Morovia, bringing them to Nima. No.
No. When I'm talking about, like, for instance, the Moria Precinct Center in town there.
Central Precinct.
Yeah. It has to be relocated to a more spacious place to accommodate a lot of hardened criminals to get our streets safe and get the investor coming in. All right. But here is the thing. The land business is very serious. Like the man of God was saying, our orientation here is politics. Our orientation is not business. Like, for instance, we need a government that will come to power. Let me just use the Fulani for example. They are not supposed to sell in any shop. They should put all their resources together and get a factory in our country. Selling in shop belong to Liberian, and you are caught selling in shop, I mean, it's a criminal issue. We can charge you. So the whole shop being all over the place, they're not investment.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's not investment. This shop all over in Liberia is an investment. So let them put their resources together and get a factory that will employ Liberians. Or if we want to maintain the shop system, every single shop run by a Fulani should employ 1 Liberian in a shop. Yes. And the Lebanese that having shop down there, the bookkeeper should be a Liberian. Then you have 2 store boy in there, and no Lebanese will be in there beside 1 Lebanese and 3 Liberians. What type of employment in our system? All right. But here is the thing. Let's get back to the land issue. I think there's a need for land redistribution in Liberia. First of all, we want to know who owns Maba Point. Are the legitimate owner of these Google places? I mean, since that time, Central Morovia, who own these places and they get bidding down there, they just getting money from government. Who own all would need to do land redistribution in Liberia?
That's contention you want to bring war.
I come in now, that's not contention, oh man. If you're a strong government and you are strong, responsible government, and you get enough prison, you want cause trouble, we can take you for safekeeping. What are you talking about? All right? And at the end of the day, to be very frank with you, you see why?
But you don't know Monrovia is owned by the Bassa people? You know that whole place for Bassa people?
No, we need to investigate it. They say illegally. They say it was just given to somebody.
That's why I said a war you won't bring. Because the common people.
It's not war. Then lastly, the president should go on air and make a presidential decree that we're going to audit all land in this country and get a legitimate owner, starting from Maba Point to Central Monrovia.
To Lofa?
Well, if the need exists, of course, yes. Because that's where the problem is coming from. You see? So at the end of the day, the terrorists say, I think this is the first time, maybe it been happening in other government. I don't have the record. I may stand to be correct. I stand to be corrected. This is the first time maybe people are enforcing the law now and people are crying. Liberia don't used to these things, but we got to do them. You see, other government never did it. We have to do it. A responsible government will have to do this thing here. You laugh with the people, you move them. Then the next time now, you see the woman are crying. She's not just crying because she's crying. She's sending a signal to people that live in 12th Street that it's about time for them to move. Sending a signal to the people that live in Satan that it's about time to move. And the Joseph Barrett government is not a government for fun. You got to leave. Development don't come with bread and butter, oh man. The people got to leave. And the land redistribution, we need to find out who really own legitimate land from Mama Point, the Bassa people. They got to account for this thing here. How they got this land?
There you go. Guys,
if you can't account for it, government will have to take over. Then it will get enough pressing now. You won't cause trouble. We'll take you for safekeeping for 1 year, 2 years. They started quiet.
All right, guys. Dr. Jones, our senior education analyst, Tara Collins, and Moses, and we want to thank you so much, as always. Tomorrow, I want to be here. Tomorrow is Wednesday. All things considered, we still keep filling in the gap of the laborer who was so ridiculous tonight. Laborer said because the airport, nobody asking, he came down, escalator, he got his bag, so nobody, the election is over.
What? What is that?
So Labour didn't show the highway. He didn't videotape the lights.
No,
the
highway. Where is the light? He said, "Oh no, I can't get down. I can't get out from my car." I called him Terry. I said, "Well, call Terry and you can give Terry that spot of West Street now with me." But he arrived safe late. But next, we're going to see more. Probably he will come on Wednesday, Thursday. I say, but I know he's going to be busy. Be heading to Grand Judy and all of that. I believe February. I just forgotten the main date, the interment of his son. From there, we're going to do it. But guys, we're going to be back here tomorrow, Wednesday. All things considered, and some of the pieces that we left out, we're going to recap them. Share with us anything that is vital, and of course, to our viewers, our listener, followers, and we want to thank you for your time, your comments, your interaction, your tweets. I always send in your suggestions. You have the right to agree and disagree with us here. You can express your view. We don't sanction voices. We don't turn people off. It's about Liberia. You also have a voice. Gentlemen, have a pleasant night. And by God's willing, we'll be back here tomorrow for more programming. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So,
I am living records. Sweet song.
Yeah. Oh, Ambassador Gideon Boy, 2 by Black Power, 2 of them, we are them on where. What a black continue, let's take us there. No, I'm the brand, do a can yes from them. What's up? Yeah, my yes, one my dear. Apple get up. My yes, one my yes, one my dear. My yes, one my dear. Go, my yes, one my dear. See me go, I say, oh, like no. My young then is a lover. I'm going to get the I'm going to get the